Hi, this is Michael Waits, and welcome to Life at Scale. We are joined by Takehiko Eguchi, an executive officer of digital transformation at Dai-ichi Life Insurance. Eguchi-san, thank you so much for coming to the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited about being here and discussing.
I am so happy to have you here too. And before we jump into the main part of this conversation, let's get a little bit of your professional background.
Okay. Actually, I working for this company only 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah. Before that, I worked for Sompo Holdings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At that time, so I worked there for 3 years.
Okay.
Right. I was working in charge of the new business development related to digital businesses.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I worked for another manufacturing company.
Okay, which one?
Konica Minolta, a copy manufacturing company.
Right.
And for 7 years.
Okay.
Right. At the time, yes, I also are working for new businesses. Right.
Great.
And before that, I worked for SoftBank, you know?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, as a startup investor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
You've had some pretty incredible, actually, business experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me about your journey through these different companies and through this journey of innovation with these larger established companies, with SoftBank doing the investing and stuff as well? How does that background and experience impact the way you look at digital transformation, and how has it changed?
Okay. Before talking about this,
Yes.
I would add one more my career.
Please.
Yeah, after quitting Yamaichi Security,
Okay.
which is my first career from 1990,
Oh, wow.
and in 1995,
Mm-hmm.
I found my own startup.
You did?
Yes, which was focusing on creating something. Right. So at that time, all companies related to the internet business, right? They are all internet business company.
Right.
Just it.
Right.
And at that time, I'm working on the how we take advantage of the internet capability.
Okay, so you were doing this really from the beginning, when GMO Internet was found, when Rakuten was found,
Mm-hmm.
when Yahoo came into the country.
Yeah.
You were getting involved in innovation back then as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What made you do that?
Yeah, maybe it's because of my nature. I want to do something. I want to create something. Yeah, every day, even now. So
Even now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about that.
So now tell me, with all of this incredible experience,
Mm-hmm.
how does it impact your view today on digital transformation? And then where does it fit into what's happening at Dai-ichi?
Yes, I have been looking at the innovation from the perspective of 3 positions,
Okay.
like you mentioned.
Yes.
Right? Big company, startup, and investors. So when it comes to the differences in these positions,
Right.
I don't see any different point, I would say.
Really?
Right? So in every position, we surely face the difficulties.
For sure.
Right?
Right.
In the startup company, I very envied the big company because they had the plenty of people,
Right.
and sales channels,
Exactly.
and also have money.
Right. Resources.
Right? Yeah. So
Right.
I was ambitious about that.
Right.
But now we are working for a big company. As you imagine,
Right.
we are struggling with difficulties related to the big company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
We are always required to create big something.
Right. Right.
For example, 100 million business
Right.
should be created by you.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. Which is different, right? At a startup,
Mm-hmm.
the idea is let's get $1 million of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get $500,000 of revenue. And that's the beginning of success.
Yeah.
But at a big company,
Mm-hmm.
to have impact,
Mm.
it has to be $100 million
Yeah.
business.
And now.
And now, not next week, not later. There's no time.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, from the perspective, it is. So,
Right.
yes, small company and start company, it's very, very lucky
In a
because they can focus on lean startup.
Right.
This is a basic of the basics, right?
Right.
Right?
Did you read The Lean Startup?
Now?
No, did you before when it came out?
Yeah, of course.
It was a
Of
very
course.
good book,
Because I didn't have much money
Right.
to do big, right? Yeah, that's why.
Interesting.
So,
So during this whole process, reading The Lean Startup was actually transformational for me
mhm,
because I was like you. I worked at Morgan Stanley. I
mhm,
worked at Goldman Sachs.
mhm.
And when you work at a big company, you kind of take those resources for granted. They're just there.
Mhm.
If you need a computer, you talk to the IT team.
Mhm.
If you need a phone, you talk
Mhm.
to the tech team.
Yeah.
In your own company, you have nothing.
Mhm.
And the lean way at least works in some cases.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about what you learned, again, working at a manufacturer, starting your own startup, and then coming back to big companies? The things that you learned that you can then take into Daiichi and say, I know how to innovate, and now I'm going to do that internally.
Mhm.
What did you learn?
So I learned just lean startup, which because we didn't much to do.
Right,
Now we have a lot,
Right.
right?
right,
If we succeed to persuade the person as gatekeeper,
right,
like the
Right.
financial guy and something, so finally we get money. But in that case, in this startup case, so we don't have much or enough
right,
to do start something.
right,
And at that time, so we focused on what is the core of the business,
right,
like MVP approach,
Right.
right? What is the core, which can be managed by us, considering our capacity, such as, of course, this is a very important factor, money,
right.
and then so we just create the core function and check, and so revise a little bit, and check, revise, check. It's a very, very important process.
Right.
At that time, I learned this process.
Iteration,
Yes.
iteration and
Yes.
changing.
This is also very important to big company like us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But because they have plenty of resources, they easily forget the very important approach, I think.
It's true. And I remember when I was working at a big company, sometimes I felt a little removed from the core that you mentioned. But the other thing that you mentioned actually that's really interesting is to get the resources, you have to change somebody's mind.
Yeah.
And you may even have to change culturally the way they think about this. Can you talk about this, how this mindset change, this cultural change is crucial to properly innovate and that takes time as well?
Yes. It's very difficult. But
It is.
along the way of my long career in innovation area,
Right.
I noticed one thing. From the perspective of well-established company,
Yes.
we can say that almost people in the company are born innovator.
Are born innovators.
Yes, I think so.
Tell me why.
For example, if we ask them to have some workshop
Right.
in order to come up with some ideas, for example, so sales strategies, something,
Right.
and I asked them to speech or talk freely, right?
Right.
By how to say asking them, so no intention, no carry about,
Right.
about anything.
Right. Just say what you want. Say what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all.
Yeah.
We want to know what you're thinking.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, I see these guys are enjoying, right?
Right.
Enjoying.
They feel free.
Yes. This is maybe the point where explain they are born innovators. Right?
This is a really good strategy. So essentially, you're trying to prove to them and show them that if they're given the freedom to do things and say things, that inside of them already exists innovation.
Yes. So and it's very important to have the environment in our company,
right?
Like openness, and psychological safety.
Right.
These are very, very important and essential.
Absolutely, because if you're in a place or an environment where you feel like you can't freely express yourself without being punished, then you won't say anything.
Yes.
And then as a big company, you lose the opportunity for innovation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great strategy, right?
Yes, I think so.
It's a really great strategy.
Yeah.
Are there other strategies that you employ, again, after all this experience, to encourage people to be more innovative?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So next one is to give a chance. For example, so we set up an internal fund.
An internal fund?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For everyone, for every employee across the world.
What does that mean? So people contribute to the fund?
No, they can utilize the fund in order to create something.
Tell me how this works. That's very interesting.
Yeah, we call it Daiichi Life Innovation Fund.
I like it.
Which was founded 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and so by inviting innovators across the world, across the globe,
right,
in our group.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and they want to create something, and they so applied for this fund in order to get money. At the time, so maybe 5 ideas are sent to us, and nowadays, so we see a lot, over 20 ideas at the one, only at the one pitch day.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So this is an internal fund created for anybody that works at Daiichi Life globally.
Yeah.
To be able to submit their own ideas and say, you should fund this. So it's almost like an internal startup.
Yes.
What a great idea. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And of course, we can leverage the outside partners, right?
Right.
But the idea should come from the inside, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we need to something like a tool to ignite the mind of born innovators.
But this is a great idea, right? Because remember, before you talked about if somebody gives a presentation or if they make a speech, you encourage them to say whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're saying, we don't just want you to say things. We want you to do things, right? And we want you to, like you said, I just wanted to build something. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people have that inside them, but they don't have the facility or the resources to build, right? But now they come in here and they're like, I've always wanted to do this thing. Let me submit that, and I get funded and they can do it.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Motivation and 2, such as money.
Right.
And also we are preparing for the playbook, of course. Which shows them how to come up with the idea, how to nurture the idea, how to create or build the idea,
right,
in order to be feasible,
right.
And also finally, so we ignite their mind. Lastly, it's a very important.
I remember, again, when I was working at big companies thinking, I have all these ideas, but there was no mechanism, no pathway to tell anybody, right? But what you're saying is you've created this pathway. The firm has created this pathway. It's a really great way, at least to start internal innovation. Resources, ideas, and then the motivation and the spark to be able to go out and do that.
Yeah.
All you really need is one success story
Mm.
that then you can promote to the rest of the firm,
Yeah.
and then you're going to light this thing on fire.
Mhm.
Everyone's going to want to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I talk to you about a lot of companies do a different thing, actually. They'll say, okay, we're going to build an innovation team. We're going to separate them out, right? This is the Dejima concept that you mentioned to me yesterday. Yeah?
Yeah.
And that we're going to separate them out and just have them do the innovation and then tell us about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that as an idea, and why does it or doesn't it work?
Dejima?
And maybe you can explain first, because I don't know if I told you this yesterday, but my wife is from Nagasaki.
Okay.
So I've actually been to Dejima.
Okay.
So I know what it means. But for people that don't, maybe you can explain first what that is, why it was built, and then what you think about that as a corporate strategy to build innovation.
Mm-hmm. So people in Western countries
Right.
call this kind of organization lab, right?
Yeah.
Innovation lab, something.
Lab. Yes.
But in Japan, especially, we call it Dejima.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I think personal understanding for that, Dejima is for creating new business.
Right.
And this kind of lab, something team dynamics, like you said,
Right.
maybe for culture change.
Maybe. Okay.
Mm. So Dejima should create business,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
And from the perspective of basic purpose of Dejima, I think it doesn't work.
I don't disagree with you. Tell me why.
Yeah. So I have a lot of experience in living in Dejima.
Did you really?
Right.
Okay. Go ahead.
At that time, so I have 10 people. I had 10 people for creating new things.
Right.
And at that time, yeah, in many cases, many people in Dejima residence tend to utilize the existing sales channel.
Fair enough.
Right.
Because it's already there. So then they don't have to do anything new. They just take the new thing that they have and put it through the existing channel.
Yeah.
So you're not creating anything new.
Yeah, I think so.
Go ahead.
But this is a miss point.
Right.
So the nature of the channel is different from that the Dejima's resident want to.
Right. Right.
So this is a very big factor
Right.
for them to get in the, how to say, bottleneck.
Right. In the
Right.
bottleneck, right?
So this wall is very, very tall because the existing unit don't care about the new things. Right?
Right.
And they don't see any benefit from the new things.
To them.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, they end up with some deadline.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people usually tend to utilize the sales channel, using sales channel, but it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
But from the perspective of culture change, Dejima works to some extent.
Okay.
As a catalyst and some trigger.
Tell me.
Yeah. So if we have a Dejima people in our company, we outside the Dejima people outside the Dejima acknowledge that the company is trying to do something.
All right, because they can see it separately.
Yes.
They're doing something, and we need to learn from that somehow.
Yes. So of course we can see it.
Right.
Someone trying to do something.
Right.
But this is very important.
Right.
So the acknowledging that the company is doing new things,
Right.
Bring new culture to the company.
Okay, so it's a really interesting concept that it may not create the new products that you want, but it creates a mindset where, again, getting back to the cultural change we were talking about earlier, this idea that clearly the company feels like something here needs to change. That team is doing something. Maybe they're not creating new products, but maybe I should talk to them too and find out what these new things are.
Yeah.
And over time, that kind of seeps into the main part of the organization.
Yes.
And then the mindset changes.
Yeah.
Interesting concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have to the size of people.
Go
Like,
ahead.
compare with the people in Dejima.
Right.
This is a very small size.
Right.
But versus this, in the big company, we can have a lot of people. And as I said, they have the nature of innovator.
I understand.
Yeah. If we ignite their mind,
Right.
they can change. Then they have a big potential for changing something in the company.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very
I see a lot of cases. We tend to do ourselves inside the Dejima.
Tell me.
So as I said, so we usually face the walls,
Right.
face the difficulties.
Yes.
Right? Like a wall.
Right.
But outside the people,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, if they change the mind and if they commit to do something new,
Right.
the power is very big,
It is.
and they can change the company.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So
then
finally,
the wall disappears. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So finally, we notice this. We have to focus on the people,
Yeah.
current people,
Right.
by changing their mind
Right.
in this company.
You're doing multiple things. I think one of the interesting things about this conversation for me today is that there's no magic inside of innovation, right? And that if you can employ a few different techniques and strategies, you can create an environment in which people feel very comfortable innovating, and you can send subtle messages, bimyoni, send them messages saying, we're trying to innovate here, and we want your ideas. As a matter of fact, being quiet is bad for you, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So one of the biggest new things that the world is talking about is artificial intelligence. Where do you think it fits into the innovation mindset? And what do you think the impact is going to be? Or where do you think it's going to have the most impact on the insurance industry when you look at it today? And even if you look at it, 5 to 10 years out.
So when people are talking about AI,
Yes.
so the focus tends to shorter term.
Yeah. What's it going to do
Program.
tomorrow? Yeah.
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 They want to discuss about how to implement the AI,
Right.
as soon as possible,
Right.
and how to prevent it, right? But these are all short-term issue,
Tell me. I like it.
which will be solved in the in the near future.
Right.
But I'm very anxious about the future
Okay.
because of AI.
Okay.
So nowadays, we are seeing a lot of articles, so alarming, how AI will bring some big impact
Right.
our life. So yeah, it's a very, very very, very crucial point now.
It is.
Yes, in the insurance industry. So so far we think that we have two potential impact
Okay.
on our industry. The one is, we love to call it AI battler.
AI battler.
AI agent, AI steward,
Okay.
whatever you call it.
Right.
But this has a very big impact, we think.
We think, right.
Yes. So this will support the consumer when they want to purchase something.
Right. Okay.
You're
gonna hold it. It's gonna hold the consumer's hand through the process, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So if the people want to plan for their summer vacation trip,
Right.
the butler, AI butler,
Right.
can easily plan it
Right.
according to your schedule
Right.
and according to your preferences,
Right.
because it will know you very well.
But this is an old idea, right? This idea of a butler doing things for you,
Yeah.
right? It comes out of like the old landed gentry, right? Where they just had it wasn't even a housemaid, it was a butler. And that person literally took care of everything for you. Go warm up my car, go shovel the snow, all this kind of stuff. So it's weird that we have all this new tech and people still think about it the same way they did 150 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they know you well, very
Right.
well.
They
right?
should.
Yeah. And also they can make, this is the insurance industry's case.
Right.
They can make insurance naked.
Naked. What does that mean?
They can break down
Oh.
the insurance price to core insurance risk and others,
Okay.
including supplementary services and also our margin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of supplementary services do you mean?
Some kind of the additional additional, how to say, cost
Okay.
of the medical charge,
Got it.
right?
Okay.
Like additional bed charge
Got it.
or something.
Right. I got it.
But this is the main point where we have to pay attention to the margin.
Right.
Margin will be transparent
Right.
because of the AI butler.
This is what you're worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, the margin will go down.
I'm curious. I'm trying to think about it as you're saying it. Well, the margin may go down. In other words, if it, as you suggest, the butler breaks it down into its component pieces,
Yeah.
and if everybody knows, oh, I don't want to pay for that
Mm-hmm.
because I'm only really getting this.
Yeah.
If you can break it down in that way,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, there is a real risk to
Mhm.
companies
Yeah.
that the margin will go lower, right? It's like if I order a hamburger and it comes with tomatoes, lettuce, and onions, and I
Mhm.
know what all that costs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want my burger to be 45 cents less.
Yeah.
Because I don't like onions.
Yeah. Yes. In this way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
in
same
this way.
thing.
So we will be able to watch insurance like this balance sheet.
Right. Yeah,
Like-
because right now it's a little bit opaque. It's not so
Yes.
transparent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you, what's the challenge there? How do you fix that?
So in this future like this, we have to make insurance redressed again.
Right.
So by defining the insurance industry
Right.
differently
Okay.
compared with the current industry.
Okay.
Yeah, we are just on the risk,
Right.
right?
Right.
But this is very, very big, right?
Right.
This is a source of our business, right?
Right. Right.
People can't see precisely our margin,
Right.
right? But in the future, right, as I said, it will become transparent.
Transparent.
Right? Then we need to insurance redressed
Right.
again.
So does the business model evolve?
Yeah.
Right. Because as soon as that piece becomes transparent,
Mm-hmm.
now you create supplementary services around that.
Yeah.
Do you have like a thought or an example that you can share where like there's a supplementary service that you're already considering or that you've already built that makes the fact that the insurance transparency doesn't matter so much, where the margin then moves from here to a new service or something that you begin to offer?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you were saying that anyway, the other factors
Right.
will be transparent, right?
Yes.
So we're just thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
This part
Mm-hmm.
should be the something like human.
Go ahead.
Right.
Agreed completely.
So we have a very powerful
Mm-hmm.
sales people,
Right.
like 35,000 something.
35,000.
Yeah, across Japan.
Right.
This is a core of a competitive access.
It's a great
Yeah.
competitive.
We have
yeah.
to leverage this power
Right.
in order to deliver new values to the future customer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just we announced that we entered a new area, such as employee benefit service.
Right.
Right. And this kind of business must be, should be, we have to utilize this opportunity in order to get human, human-like services like this, right? So this is a very important.
It's so interesting. If I can put together everything that you're saying, right? This idea of creating an innovative environment, seeing the future coming where the margin due to transparency because of the AI technology is coming, and then empowering people, whether it's the 35,000 agents that you have or anybody inside the company, to utilize a fund to create new products. In a way, you're mitigating your own internal risk to build new things before that transparency happens. So when it does, you're already prepared. And you can look at the rest of the industry and think, what were you doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So as I said, so actually we are preparing for that.
Right.
By inviting new technology.
I like it.
We call it digital buddy.
Digital buddy, okay.
Which is a kind of AI system.
Right.
Which is a buddy for salesperson in our company.
I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we need to make salesperson empowered by AI technology.
Right.
Right. So maybe this will be the bridgestone for when we take a strategy for the future.
Right. Do you get the sense that employees in big companies are a little scared about the impact of artificial intelligence and AI on themselves? And that part of the thing that you and the rest of people need to do is to convince them that actually this thing will help you, not hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, those 35,000 people, and whether it's 35,000 in a big company or 35 people in a small company, they should get power from new tech, right?
Yeah.
Do you sense that people are scared?
Sometimes yes,
okay,
but sometimes no.
I understand.
And if they think about the new future,
right,
and also they can utilize new technology,
right,
they can easily think positively.
I think so.
Yeah. But if they don't want to do something new, maybe they are always so negative.
Right.
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 And fortunately, our company is based on the human.
Right.
Right. And we have to pay attention to the human.
Absolutely.
And our initiatives focus on the human. Of course, we utilize AI technology,
right,
but human is the main part
right,
of our initiative.
Yeah.
And this can deliver our message to our people.
Right.
I hope so.
I hope so too. And at the end of the day, your customers are also humans.
Yes, yes.
And they'll appreciate that interactivity with humans as well.
Yeah.
And if those humans serve them better because of tech, again, everybody wins. Okay.
Yeah.
One more thing and then I let you go.
Yes, okay.
You've had this really long career and you seem to keep updated on everything that's going on. If you were reading Lean Startup when Lean Startup came out, that's really kind of cool. Today, how do you continue to keep updated and on top of all the new things that are happening? Because it's moving so much faster today than it was even 10 years ago.
Actually now, thanks to the AI.
Right. Yeah. We're back to the same thing, right? It's easier.
So yes, I easier get motivated
right
by AI happening. So especially the last year,
right?
That is a very, very crucial point for me.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And AI invention made me so think, how to say, broadly.
Right.
And so long distance view.
Right.
It's very important.
It is really important. I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it gets back to what you were talking about earlier, this idea of everybody's thinking about what's the short-term impact on artificial intelligence, on business. And it's the wrong way to think about it,
Yeah.
right? You have to look way past it and think, what is it going to do to us today, but what does that mean for us 10 years out? And if we don't think about it that way, then you're thinking the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah.
I will let you go. Takehiko Eguchi, an executive officer of digital transformation at Daiichi Life Insurance. That was awesome. Thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you very
really
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much.